I think we've got it. We'll find out here in a hot second. Good morning, everybody, while I fiddle with my phone and everything. If you happen to spot a video a little while ago where I tried to go live and it went haywire, that's me. Okay. I think we've got it. We'll find out here now. Got it. Okay. Chat is the thing. Oh. So yeah, good morning. I am at the gray area. If you pay attention to Jeremy and Claire's channel, For Real, they did a video recently and they mentioned this place. The moment I saw it, I'm like, hey, wait, that's my neighborhood. How do I not know about this place? So I wanted to pop over here today. Hello, Michael. Hello. So yeah, I had to come over here and check it out today. I got a busy day planned for myself, so I wanted to come and have a morning coffee, see how things feel. And so far so good. I'm liking the location. It's a good spot. It feels comfy here. Met the owners while I was in line for my coffee. It was great. Lovely people. Beautiful building. I was trying to go off of my hotspot and wasn't working. Not even a little bit. So I was like, no, that's not gonna go. Let me just double check my settings here. Okay. Do we have anything for Wi-Fi? Give me a second here. Microphone. Noise reduction. Let's do high. So I'm going to try noise reduction here because I'm in an enclosed building. Fingers crossed. It sounds a little mechanical. It's kind of the nature of the noise reduction software. There are algorithms built into things. So my apologies. So let's turn this off so I can not worry about it. So good morning. I have been very busy this week. Mostly getting better. I did not fare well on my trip to Phnom Penh. I caught a bug. I was calculating the timeline, and I caught it while I was in Phnom Penh, and it did me dirty. So most people, when they catch a bug, it usually hits them in their sinuses or their lungs and stuff, so they catch like a cold. I rarely catch regular colds because of my colitis. My weakness is my intestines or my gut, and it just wrecked me for 4 days, I think. 3 or 4 days. It was not. Let's say I felt iffy on the way back from Phnom Penh, and then it got worse. And I'm thinking, okay, am I having a colitis attack? So I always wait a couple of days. And then I couldn't wait anymore. So I had 2 full days of medication that seemed to clear it all up. So I'm mending. I wouldn't say I'm better. You know, I'm perfect, but it's better than it was for sure. So, and I'm cleaning my glasses as I'm sitting here yakking because it seems to be what I do. Nightcat. You're now here having breakfast, so happy to be here. Well, congratulations. Welcome to Siem Reap, or Cambodia. Michael, you will be in Phnom Penh in April or May. Hope to be in Siem Reap for a week. Yeah. Both are excellent places to visit, so I cannot say bad things. Oh, Lord. Chantha, I heard about the snowstorm. I'm from New Brunswick, Canada, so that's just a little bit east of Boston. Nova Scotia's, like I took a flight from Halifax to Boston. It was like a half hour, but we had to fly west. So I was like, wait. But yeah, I heard that there's a massive nor'easter, we call it. I know that Fredericton was supposed to get 20 centimeters of snow today. I still keep track of the news. I have friends and things, and, you know, people in Canada. And so I always try to keep up to date when I can. But yeah, seeing a headline about a nor'easter, I was like, whoa, not good. Not good at all. Make sure that the stream is doing okay. I want to check things. Yeah.
But yeah, I heard that there's a massive nor'easter, we call it.
Okay, we're good. Seems that the noise production is okay. I'm okay with this. I'm very much okay. Which phone? Yeah, let me do my iPhone for this. So many stupid things in my life. Bear with me. Hopefully I'm connected. Okay, I'm on. Yay! Yeah, I got a notification from my iPhone that there's a system update, even though it was been sitting in and charging for a couple of days. Like, what is with the shit? Apple, why do you do the things you do? Of course. Why wouldn't I expect things to be wonky? iPhone. Okay, we got it there. Portia, hello. My apologies. Michael. Let me pass this. I have to stop my stream, but I have to sit through ads. Michael is saying, ooh. Yeah, fine, I don't care. Is it necessary to leave the country changing status from ER to EB with work permit? If so, Benton, be a nice trip. Yeah, so if you are going from an ER to an EB, or if you're going from retirement to work visa, yeah, you have to leave. You can renew any of the visas indefinitely, like you don't have to leave if you're keeping the same, but if you're changing it for any reason, then they recommend highly that you leave the country and come back, which I ended up doing. So, and Portia, what's up? You just got here. I just started. It hasn't been very long. I had a fun experience trying to get myself going live, so, but I did it. Yeah, you can see this is like a really cool coffee shop behind me called the Gray Area. There's like an elevated chessboard over there, all concrete, really cool spot. I said it before, I'll say it again. I just found out about this. If you follow Jeremy and Claire's channel for real, they did a piece talking about this neighborhood, which happens to be where I live in. Well, I live just on the cusp of it. Like, I'm on the edge. I'm a little bit north and a little bit east of here. But I'm like just over a kilometer from here, kilometer and a half, I think it is. So it's as far as I'm concerned, this is my neck of the woods. I'm closer to this than I am everything else that I go to. How would I say this? If I'm going to a air-conditioned coffee shop, this is the closest one to me. The other ones are all downtown, and I'm about 3 kilometers from the downtown core. So, give you perspective. So, and I love this neighborhood, but there are pluses and minuses living up here. Pluses are the quiet, local community, definitely getting a better connection to the feel for living in Cambodia. And the only downside is you have to you have to drive a little bit further to get to things, but I really don't care. I've been riding my motorcycle more than I would like. Mark, hello. Good to see you as well. I am keeping well, finally. What is the neighborhood called? You know what? I'd have to go back and check. I'm horrible for knowing that. Give me a second. Siem Commune map. Okay, I'm pulling it up now. course, I can see them listed, but is it okay? Here we go. There we go. So I am officially. Oh wow. Huh. That's news to me. I am in a different commune than I thought. I'm in the same commune where Angkor Wat is. What's it called? Yeah, so there's 4 main communes that are here in Siem Reap that most people end up going to and staying. And I am just north of the ones, but I am. Jeez, I hate these places where they say 2 fingers to move the map when I'm used to moving it with 1. I'm like, it doesn't even give me the names. It just gives me color coding. What is with this place? Kupchak, I think. Is that right? Whoa. Yeah, the only one that has. I'm going to find another map. There has to be something better than the one I grabbed. Okay. Sure. That's not going to work. I wonder why. Yeah, let me just go in and see what Jeremy and Claire called it, because that's going to be easier. Give me a moment. They called it Kupchak. Koukchak. So there are 4 communes. So the 2 at the bottom of the map, if you take a look at their video, you'll see the breakdown. They do a better job than I would. The 2 lower ones are the ones that most people end up living in, because that kind of encompasses the Pub Street area, and then the cross river where I used to live, where Wat Damnak is, and Wat Bo, and that kind of fits in. I live north of all that, so there's a 3rd one that it's like not as popular, but it's the 3rd location that most people stay in. I don't even live in that one. I live north of it. So, concrete building seems a lot cooler place. Mr. G, it is phenomenal here. Oh yeah, Portia. If you look at their last video, it's called "Underrated Part of Siem Reap, Cambodia." It's literally the last one that they made. So when you look at the map that they show, it shows the 4 quarters, and in the top right is where I thought I was living, but I'm actually north of it, just barely. I'm like, who would have known that I would live off the beaten path? And I love it, but I'm so close to it, it doesn't really matter. You know, it doesn't matter at all. But yeah, this is a beautiful spot. All made of concrete, very cool, nice air con. Looks like they've got a DJ set up over there. There's art all over the place. It's a cool spot. I dig it a lot. So I'm very thankful that Jeremy and Claire pointed out this area, because I will be coming back for sure. Now, what is Commune? I'm curious as to Commune map. Of course. This one was last updated on 2021, so. That's so funny. They show them, but they don't break down. Oh. it helps if I click on the thing. So I live in Sankar Nokortam, home of the Angkor Archaeological Park. And the one that I was thinking I was in is Slakram, S-L-A-K-R-A-M. And the one I lived in before, Sala Kandrok. So there, it helps if I actually do things. And the more popular one is Svaydangkum. Yeah, I'll show you guys. I can pull it up. Look, you can see the 4 different parts. And this is the one that I thought I was living in, but I'm in the pink one, which is that. So, very cool. Very excited to know that I live in. Hey, what? Being making sure I'm okay. Obviously, he didn't get the notification that I've gone live. I'll have to give him shit for not turning on notifications. I wouldn't do that ever. I don't care. My friends don't have to watch my shit. Their friendship is an important thing for me. Yeah. So, whoa. Suck. Fact, everywhere is dead except Cambodia because it's brand new. Here in South Korea, and I moved to South Colorado, sometimes it's pretty dead. I think right now Cambodia is the place. You know what? I felt like... I don't know if I would say just Cambodia, but I would say Southeast Asia in general seems to be more alive. Like I get what you're saying there. Like back in Canada, back in the United States, every mall is dying. You've got all the mom and pop shops are gone. All of the, everything is just either like a huge big brand name store, or everything's turned to like either Walmart or Amazon, and just killed everything. And so you have all of those malls are just dead spaces. I lived in Boynton Beach, Florida, and when I moved there, it would be like 15 years ago, the mall was dying, but it was salvageable. It had something going on, and just it's a ghost town. And then even like in Toronto, the Eaton Centre, which was one of our landmark tourist destinations. All the stores have pulled out. Hudson Bay is gone, and I don't even know if it's called the Eaton Centre, because Eaton's I don't think is even there anymore. It's just crazy. Hey Tim, you moved to a new apartment on Friday in the Wapo district. Awesome. Hope you enjoy it there. I'm glad that you've got everything sorted. I know you were talking about that before. You were trying to sort things out. But going back to what I was saying about the malls and all that, but here, like even just going to Phnom Penh, the malls are vibrant, just kicking. And like when I was in Vietnam, and in Thailand, the mall culture is just like, it feels like going back to a mall back in the 70s and 80s when they were thriving in the US and Canada. And here, but it's different. Like, I don't know. I find that there's a different feel. And that's just the malls. Like the rest of it is just so much more vibrant and alive. I think by having street food everywhere and having the ability to just, walk out of your house and go, walk out of your house and just go, down the street, like, a few hundred yards, and you've got, little mom and pop shops selling snacks and candies and sodas and waters and, these big orange thermal tubs, and they keep everything cool for you, and prices are reasonable, or you can just walk and get street food everywhere. Coffee shops everywhere here, and you've got the whole choice. Like you can sit outside on the river, or you can come into a little air-conditioned place. Everything is available here, and I'll see coffee shops next to each other here, both thriving. Or back home, you know, if there's one in the same block, you're having wars. It's like, I think that's one of the things I find is very different here, is the commercialism or consumerism is not the same. Like, sure, there's competition, but it's friendly or friendlier. It's not the same. It's like, just to coin a term that I grew up with, is we had the console wars. You know, PlayStation versus Xbox versus Sony, Sony versus Sega versus Nintendo versus Microsoft, and it was the console wars. And it's those terminologies or those coined phrases that are the problem. When you turn everything into a war, it's like, which one's the best? Which one wins? Who won the console wars? And I've heard that for years. And, you know, they say that, you know, it breeds competition, but it didn't. It just turned to the companies undermining each other, and, you know, Microsoft purchasing as many other game companies as they can, and it's complete shit now. You know, we've gone from having, again, all those little mom and pop shops and little game, you know, indie developers and the smaller developers and the so many different choices of games, and now we've got major companies and publishers, and they're not putting out anything. They're laying off people left, right, and center. And so when it comes down to wars, like any other war, you know, it's people suffer. You know, the people that are working in the industry, you know, they want to make games, and then they're involved in this drama that's bullshit. And it's just intended to feed an algorithm for other shit that's not necessary. I don't know. Going off tangent, my apologies, but it's kind of how I feel. The fact is that nobody wants to live in a modern country right now, man. Even if you're a rich person and it gets bored so quickly. I honestly I'm tired of the West. Like, just the whole mentality of living in it. The constant grind, the constant it just seemed everything was geared towards putting people or things down. There was little to no community, and I'm talking Canada. I'm not just singling out one thing. It was a constant grind, and even at work, you know, you're trying to do your best, and you just want to do your job, and it's always a constant thing of like social hierarchy and who knows who to get the things, and oh, you got to climb the ladder, and I'm just so fucking numb to it. I just wanted to work. I just wanted to, you know, get on the phones. Even when I started working at IKEA, because I thought IKEA, you know, seemed to be one of those places that wouldn't be a major factor. And for the most part, it wasn't. But my thing was, I just wanted to get on the phones. Like, I'd been management, I've done everything. I just wanted to be an agent. I just wanted to sit, have no responsibilities other than to take calls, help people out, get their orders placed, and just move on with my day. So I would just go in, sit down, and if somebody next to me was having trouble with the computer or something, I would always just kind of, you know, help out and stuff. And before I fucking knew it, I was singled out by my supervisor for advancement to, oh, you should be doing this, or you should be doing, I'm like, I don't want to do any of this. I just want to sit here and take calls. So even when I didn't want to, I was always getting singled out for it. You agree, Portia? Thank you. Yeah, just, and so even at IKEA, when I'm just sitting there, I'm just trying to do my thing and not, you know, not excel, not exceed. There's no bonus structure. There's nothing. It's just take your calls, go. And because I got singled out and, you know, I was, you know, fast-tracked to do something else, you know, some people that had been there for a while, all of a sudden now I'm the enemy. I'm like, I didn't do any of this. Like, I don't want to be involved in any of this drama. I don't want any of this crap. I just want to work, you know? And that was, for me, was like living in the West. It was nonstop, constantly. It was us versus, me versus the world, us versus them thing. I'm like, oh. RC, good morning, Sean. Wait, why is your thing disappearing? Is it being blocked? I'm not blocking any comments from you, so my apologies. Give me a second. If you're deleting it, I understand. But if it's being taken away, my apologies. So give me a second. I'm going to get caught up with chat here. Okay. So, you went to the Lakewood Mall last week. Most malls are the employees. I don't know how they survived. Remember 30 years ago, you'd wait to buy things. Wow. Yeah. I mean, like, how many movies did you remember from like the 80s where, everyone was going to the mall to be seen or to, it was, well, even if you watch Stranger Things, like a whole chunk of that takes place in the mall because of like the timeline when it was there. The malls are just dead. Tim, correct. I come from Australia and everything is a competition. Big business taking over small stores and then closing them. Monopolies are thriving where everyone else is struggling. Yeah. Stress versus prevent. Yeah, well, I'm glad I'm not just speaking to a void. Where I felt like I'm doing that most of my life. I've never liked the rat race, never liked being a cog in the wheel. Like even doing YouTube, so many people think of it as a competition. It's like, this person is in Siem Reap and they're doing this and they're getting all these views. And what's your problem? I'm like, I don't know. Why the fuck would I care? Like I'm not doing this to one up anybody, If somebody else is coming along and they are kicking the shit out of me, good for them. I don't care. I'm not here to compete with anybody on anything. If anything, I tend to focus more on, helping, my friends that want to do better and try to, give them some suggestions of things that work for me. But, like with Alan and Dean, they kicking and screaming to start a YouTube channel. And now they're doing really good, and I'm super proud of them, And, I have Mallrats, Portia. Oh my God, that's a great movie. Yeah, that's the thing. How many movies were taking place in like Gremlins 2? Like that whole thing was a mall. But yeah, there's so many movies that took place in malls, and now the mall's dead. But here, they're thriving. They're kicking ass over here. Yeah. So, again, part of my reasoning for leaving the West was to get away from all that stress and all of that drama and bullshit. So I refused to bring it into my life here. I've had a few folks that have, done things that I'm like, you know what, I'm good. I will move on. And I don't hold any grudges for people for wanting to do things their way. I'm like, I just don't want to become part of it. And just, when I see a trend happening, I'm like, see ya, enjoy your thing. Jim, I think a lot of people do that. I think the low cost of living is a draw for people to come here. But I think once they're here and they meet the people and they see the living and that how life is different than the West, that those are the people that stay. If you just want cheap living, but you want it to be exactly like the West, Cambodia will never fit your needs. At least not that I can see. Honestly, this is one country that I can see that just won't cater to that kind of mentality. They're like, yeah, go ahead. Bring your McDonald's over here. We may go a few times, but, we're still going to go get our fish and wok and see you later, Okay. RC, good mornings. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's an accidental delete. I'm happy that that's the case. Again, I was worried that it was being terminated by YouTube. So that was my worry. Gary, thank you so much. Sean, morning from a cool and clear Chiang Mai. Sorry about the accidental delete. Do you have these cool northerly winds this morning too? No, it's hot as fuck here. You paint such a nice portrait of scenery. Enjoy each moment, Gary. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah. Chiang Mai is the one place in Thailand that I wish I had a chance to see. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. Yeah, so anyway, to get on the whole McDonald's thing, I kind of broached it. In the last few months, I saw things about McDonald's is looking at coming into Cambodia. And I'm like, they're having fun. And that's the thing, you hear that, you're in a quiet space and people, they're just enjoying their lives, man, and it's not a bother to me. I don't really care. I love the fact that they're enjoying making a racket over there. I think it's wonderful. But anyway, yeah, McDonald's says that they're going to be coming into Cambodia, or considering coming into Cambodia. And I'm like, good luck. Good luck. Because Burger King is doing such a good job here. I mean, a few of them do kind of well, but, I don't see it being a thing that the locals will go for as much. I mean, we have Burger King, and I'm talking Siem Reap. I don't know about the rest of Cambodia. Phnom Penh, maybe it'll work, but not here. We've got the KFC, the Burger King, and Domino's. And they're quiet most of the times. Like, I walk by them and there's nothing happening. And I see that my choice of conversation has diminished the viewership, which is fine. I did mention that I don't do this for the views. Oh, Sean, you have a way of clearing a room. I'm in a weird mood today. The purple shirt with the green hat is popping. I'm going for that look, the whole, Purple Rain meets the Grinch type of thing, with the white beard. I mean, it's just, it's a fashion statement. Yeah, it has been so freaking hot here. Let me double check the temperature right now. That's been a going concern here. 29, so it's almost 30 degrees at 10 o'clock this morning. And we are going to get a high today of 34. Now that's just going to be the physical high. You change so much if you back to watch your old videos. Don't say thank you. I know I've changed. I know I've changed drastically from when I first started. And, that's personal growth, man. It's like if you don't change, you're stagnant, And part of my reasoning for coming to Southeast Asia was for change. I needed a lot of change in my life. I've touched on it, talking about mental health and things, but, I've never really gone into the depths of, what I was dealing with mentally. I was so burnt out. Like, I was a shell of myself. I was just going through the motions. I was so dissatisfied with life. The pandemic did me no favors. As a person that is inclined to be antisocial and introverted, that gave me all the ammunition I needed to shut down, tune out, and drop out of everything. Working remotely granted me the ability. Oh, Portia, thank you. Thank you so much for the dollar reduce. That is greatly appreciated. It will pay for my coffee. Tim, went for a walk yesterday and took a wrong turn, ended up walking about an hour in 36 degrees. Totally exhausted when I got back to the hotel. Got to get acclimated again. Yeah, it takes a while. So anyway, I was a burnt out husk of myself. I was surviving, I was living, but I wasn't, how do I put it? I was alive, but I wasn't living. I think that's the best way to sum it up. In my opinion, in a few years from now, you'll see more people from West moving to Southeast Asia because the West is so expensive and people are stressed out over nothing. Oh, I see that, Mr. G. I absolutely see that. I can, like, the writing was on the wall when I was in Canada. Gary, 25C up here right now, 29 max forecast today, and grateful for cooler few days. You're right, Sean, change is constant life. Yeah. So, my problems were, I had gone through just the progression of my mental failings. I got married and trying to think, I think it was like 99. My ex-wife and I, we met in, I think it was like 94, 95. We dated together for a long time, got married, had our son, and then the marriage dissolved. And I was traveling back and forth to the United States, working for a company. And I was busy. And that kind of allowed me to overlook the first bits of my mental health falling apart. Because when I never wanted to get married. I always thought that, it was just like a piece of paper, didn't really mean anything. And then when I did, I didn't want to ever let it go because I thought, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it once type of thing. And me chat. I love the temperature. I hope I change to where Siem Reap is the best place I've ever been, and I've been everywhere in Southeast Asia. Glad you're much happier now. Thank you. Me too. Me too. So yeah. Anyway, getting into the whole dating thing and work. I worked software company, and I got to be surrounded by people with a lot of money. And I really didn't fucking like it. I did not like what I saw on a regular basis. I did not like, I liked the people that I worked with, the people that worked in the clubs and things that I was at. They were cool, but the fucking members were just the worst parts of humanity. And I hated that. And that added to my distrust of the societal aspects that I was living in, and this is in the States. And so when I moved back up to Canada, I was not in a good headspace then. And I thought I could get through. I'd been in a really, 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 really bad relationship. And then when I got back up to Canada, I was trying to work it out. And by the time I was in Montreal and I was starting to feel that things were on the right path, then the pandemic hit, and that was just nothing good for me. So, everything that I've been working on trying to resolve just kind of got pushed down. And, I'd spent 4 years just living in absolute fear every day. When you have, my colitis is an immune issue. So everyone was saying, it's if you're immune compromised, you got to be careful. And that fear, that level of fear never, ever faltered on me. And there's nothing healthy about living in that much fear. And as much as I, tried to escape by playing video games and talking to my friends and stuff online, it wasn't enough. And then when I finally got let go of my job, everyone did. It wasn't just me. We got laid off. Hey, Tim, good luck with your move to another hotel. So yeah, when I came over here, the intention was 6 to 9 months. living in Southeast Asia and, you know, clearing my head, you know, trying to get away from my attachment to my mask. You know, I knew that I'd be surrounded by so many people. And I figured I would just overwhelm myself so that I didn't have an opportunity to falter and get back into it. What I didn't realize was that if I hadn't moved, if I hadn't come over here, I don't think I would still be around, in all honesty. My health was in such bad shape. I was mentally in such bad shape that I went just through such drastic weight loss when I got over here. And I know that I attribute that to, you know, the diet and everything. But what I don't talk about is the fact that the first 2 months living in Bangkok, I was so afraid. Because again, I had been masking myself and, you know, isolating myself for so long that pushing myself back into society, pushing myself into crowds, pushing myself around people, I would go out for like an hour or two and then I'd have to come back to my apartment and I was literally shaking some days because I was so overwhelmed by it. It faded, you know. When I got over to Cambodia, that was the first time that I didn't feel afraid. You know, it was like a first step into Siem Reap, and I was just like, felt like I'd walked into a place that I'd known for years. And I didn't realize that it was something that I needed so bad. I think that's why, you know, I have a hard time saying anything poor about here. You know, that's why I am such a, you know, an advocate for Cambodia and for Siem Reap, because in my head, it's what's saved my life, you know, being here. And I don't mean just like my physical life. I think I think if I had stayed in the West, I would have snapped. And I would not, yeah. I don't want to even think about what it could have happened to me. So when I get sick here, like I mentioned, I got a bug, a stomach bug. And anytime something like that happens, and I get those nagging feelings, like especially with colitis or anything, but anytime I get an illness and I have to isolate myself for a day or two, and I do that, you know, so I don't get other people sick. I mean, I'm doing it for the right reasons, but that minute that I isolate myself for a little while, holy fuck, does it ever freak me out. The lotus has bloomed for you now, my friend. I have to run early AM start tomorrow. Thank you, Portia. Thank you so much. But yeah, the lotus has bloomed here for me, for sure. But yeah, so as soon as I have anything like that, and I have a couple of days where I'm stuck, the mind wanders. And, you know, look, luckily for me, I have, you know, Sopal in my life, and she's, as much as Siem Reap has changed me, like, Siem Reap opened me up again to, and Cambodia in general, I can't just say Siem Reap, but it's Cambodian people here. It allowed me to become myself again. A part of me that had died, a part of me that had been lost for, you know, 20 some odd years, finally came back to the surface. And I'm very thankful that that part of me was, you know, just hibernating and not completely gone. And then meeting and starting to date Sopal has opened up another part that I thought was gone. Good morning, Alan and Dean. Mr. G, thank you for speaking nice about Siem Reap. Everyone deserves to seek their own happiness and adventures, and I agree. RC, Gary, you have found your home, Siem. Sean, so nice to hear. Yeah, I have. Take care, Portia. So anyway, finding Sopal has opened up another part of, you know, the bits of me that I thought were gone. After my last relationship, that was miserable. It was a horrible, horrible experience for me. I had resigned myself to just being, single and alone, and I was going to be okay with it. It's like, yeah, it's going to be okay. You don't need that. And then I met Sopal, and I realized, oh, you do. There's a part of you missing, Sean. And so she's brought that out in me again. So, looking forward to, doing things like, oh, looks like a nice cafe. Where is this, please? Do a Google Map search for the gray area, Dane. So if you are looking at the roads, the road right here is the one that goes up to the Popo Rats. So if you took this straight down, would be the main street in downtown. You go right to Angkor 3, all that is right down here. Just up past from the hospital and the war memorial from the Vietnam-Cambodia War Memorial. It's gorgeous here. The coffee is amazing. $1.50 for, it's in a frickin' teacup. Let me see if I can add here. 1 second. Let me see if I can add the map link. I should be able to. Give me a second. I can do this. Oh, you got it? Okay. What in the, Google Maps is so stupid sometimes. Oh, gray, Gray. Yeah, here, I'll put this into the chat anyway. This is kind of cracking me up. So you guys will see the chat. You'll see a link coming in. Oh no, I have to do it as me. 1 second.
Gray, Gray.
1 second. I have to be logged in as me. Because I can't post links unless it's me. The joys of my life. View my channel. This is fun. Give me a second here. I'm almost there. Okay. I don't get why this happens here. When I log in on my phone on Android, I get nothing. I got no chat, no nothing. Like, it's just silly. Okay, let's kill this and go back in again. Do I have live chat? I do. Here we go.
I get nothing.
There we go. That's a map link to where I'm at. Whew. Finally. Oh, Lord. Again, there's days that I don't think I should be allowed out of the house. Yeah, so I think I'm going to finish my morning off going up to the temples and filming. A couple more temples that I want to go visit. Tomorrow, I'm not going to have my motorcycle for a couple of days. So, hello, Lynn. Sorry. Good morning. Enjoy your breakfast. My breakfast is liquid today. It seems like a big place from Google Map. It is. It's a massive spot in here. And there's like, the whole building is upstairs levels. I think there's like 2 or 3 that are just kind of open. They're not completed yet. So there's a lot of space here. And this area is definitely up and coming. You know, there's a lot of stuff being developed out this way. And I'm digging it entirely. I'm digging the music in here too. It gives me like the late 90s feel. I like electronic music from the late 90s, early 2000s. Oh, my psoriasis is just such a joy. If you ever see in my videos that I've got like flecks all over me, it's my skin. My skin constantly sloughs off it's in my beard. So, I'll be playing with my beard and I'll look down and it'll be just covered in skin. Like, I go to the movies and I leave and I'm like, what the hell? I got a two-tone shirt. I'm an idiot. Wow, this is a weird day. Like I said, my plan is to go up to Temples today. Tomorrow, I'm not going to have my bike. We're getting some work done on Sopal's bike. Her bike has got some cosmetic things that need to be fixed. And I was talking to my mechanic yesterday because I got my bike serviced. And so I'm going to drop her bike off tomorrow morning and then give her mine to use. And then she can use it to go back and forth to work. And then I can just use my bicycle for a couple of days. Because, I don't need my motorcycle as much. But I'm also thinking is like, do I go to Temples today or do I just get up in the morning tomorrow, Friday, and go? I could do that too. Get up an early morning bike ride up there. Ooh, that'd be nice. I don't know. I haven't really decided what I'm doing with my day yet, I guess. The other thing is I'm still kind of feeling out my stomach bug. I mean, yesterday was way better. Today I feel good again compared to yesterday. But nighttime is times when it seems to falter on me. And I go like, it slips. So maybe I just take another day and heal. We go grab some breakfast and take it home. No, I've got enough food at home to eat. So I think I'll just do that. I don't know. I haven't decided. There's no rush for anything. Okay. See if there's anything else going on. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I am always open to questions. Yeah, I've had oh God, what's this? Oh, I'm like, what did I do? I just got a receipt that I paid something on PayPal. I'm like, I did what? But it's something I actually have scheduled. I'm like, oh, okay, that thing. Yeah, it's been, like I mentioned, like I'm having weird stuff happen to me the last little while. And I'm just kind of like wondering, like, okay, what's the purpose for all this shit that's going on? I talked to Alan and Dean about some of it the other day. I'm not going to get into it here. But it's just like the weird shit. I'm like, why is this happening now? And I think a lot of it has to do with like, I think sometimes when you get into like a really good headspace where you're on the right path for where you live, you're on the right path for what you're doing, and you're on the right path with the person you're with. So everything seems to be jiving and going the right direction. And then just life is like, oh, you're content, monkey wrench, and you're like, fuck. So sometimes it's just people are just pissy about things too. I don't know. I just find it humorous that things tend to go really good and then this kind of gets sidetracked. Yeah, it's like the other thing too that I find humorous is like I love folks asking questions about living here and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes the questions are so pinpoint accurate about this one specific thing. Like I've had a person asking lately about exchange rates, coming from Canada, and what I deal with, and for me, it's no big deal. Exchange rates are exchange rates. Whenever you get money exchanged, like if I go to a counter, and I've got $100 Canadian, I know that I'm going to get not the exact rate because that's the cost of doing business. I'm okay with this. But I forget sometimes that I'm not the only, I'm not normal for thinking that way. You know, and some people just have a really hard time with dealing with like, well, it's my money, it should get exactly what it's worth. And I'm like, I understand that, but you know, that's not just kind of how things work. You know, I think the part of the issue here is like Cambodia works off of two currency. Oh, Stephen Ashworth, thank you. Loving my videos, I appreciate that. I couldn't stand. So yeah, what I tend to forget at times is like, again, I do things my way, and that's okay. But with Cambodia having two currencies linked together, so you have the U.S. dollar and the real. So when you transfer money over, we tend to do is we transfer it to USD and then deposit, because it's easier to figure out that kind of math. But I noticed a lot, like when I'm purchasing things, that more and more as I'm here, I'm given QR codes in real. And I think that the push is kind of slowly pushing away from having the the two currencies and going to just the real, which I'm more than happy with. But I think it's that converting to US dollar, then converting it over here, like you're doing two conversions, and that just boggles my brain. Again, I'm used to converting to US dollars, you know. And even like in Canada going to the US, you know, I've done that trip most of my fucking life, and so I'm used to my money not converting equally, you know. So for me, you know, the conversion rates are just what they are. Like I said, it costs of doing business, but it's been something like that for my life. But again, for some people, they're not used to doing that, you know. And like I get the comments, and I'm like, why is this such a big deal? And I'm like, I understand that it's my perception. You know, why is it a big deal to them? So it's something that bothers them. You know, they're allowed to be upset that they're losing money on it. And it's like, it shouldn't be that way. I'm like, yeah, they're right. You know, there shouldn't be a cost of conversion. You know, money's money. It should just be exactly what it's worth. But we don't live in that world at all. It's one thing I've known is things are not fair. As it's just watching the news back home. This past year has been full of turmoil, to say the very least. As a Canadian overseas, you know, just watching, you know, in the 2 years I've been here, we've, you know, gone from the aftermath of the pandemic to, you know, our leader stepping down, and now we've got a new prime minister, and then the whole thing going on with Mr. G. I'm not 100% sure. I think if you go to the national big bank, you may get a little bit more money from USD to real. Possibly. It's possible, Mr. G. I know that it's the conversion when I talk about, I think in the banks you get, like, because the dollar and the real are so tightly wound together, you get a fairly, like, it's a transitional thing. It's not a conversion. But if you're out at the stores, they do, what I find is like the big chains. So if I'm going to like Anchor Market or Macro, or any place that they use a register, you get a different conversion rate. So if, like, I'm used to 4,000 reals a dollar. That's just how it is. But if I go into those places, if I give them, let's say give them $5 bill for a dollar item, I will get back 40,000 real, which is, that's, yeah, is that right? 20,000, $5. Oh my God, fuck me. Let me take that back again. 4,000 real is $1. 20,000 real is $5. So I should get back 16,000. So at those big chain stores, if I pay with ABA or if I pay in cash, there's two different things. So if I pay ABA, they do it out of USD. So they tell you your amount, and then that's what you pay. If I give them real, they do a conversion, and I'll get change back that's not the 4,000 real to $1. It'd be like 4,100 or 4,200. And so I'll get back the 100 real notes in change, which is, again, it's conversion that they do. But if I give them a $5 bill, US dollar bill, I will get back the conversion rate of 4,000 instead of the 4,100. I'm like, oh, it just doesn't make sense to my head. So I just use ABA and pay in dollars. It's just easier. Yeah, it's weird. I think it's VAT too, VAT. Sometimes you get VAT on things. It's just, my brain hurts some days here. Which is, again, I would just like to have the one currency and just deal with it. Oh, but where am I going? What am I doing? I don't even know. Part of me thinks we should order another coffee. I got up this morning and didn't have coffee at home, didn't have breakfast at home, didn't do anything, just came out here, which is good. I'm gonna try to figure out how to get out of here. I'm looking at the parking lot behind here. I'll show you guys. So I'm parked over there. You can see the green on my bike, and then all those cars are in the parking lot. Ooh. I gotta figure out how to get out of here. I'll probably just walk my bike out. Might be able to go that way. I don't know. All I know is this is a really nice spot to sit and hang out. Aircon in here is perfect. The price of the coffee is not expensive. So here's the thing, like when I was in town, there's days that it was just too hot. And I wanted to go and sit and have a coffee or a tea and relax. And if I went to the Temple Cafe, their coffee is like $3, I think it is. So it's pricey. But again, you're paying for the location and everything else there. You're right on the river, big aircon, it's comfy. And you can go to Cafe Amazon, but I never really liked it as much. Here, I'm paying $1.50 for a coffee. And all the monkey sounds. Yeah, and this is a comfortable spot. And one of the cars pulled out. Yay! A white van just pulled out. Hooray! Now I can get out of here. I think, looking at the time, I've been an hour, and I should probably head off. Yeah. I enjoy these live streams, but I think some days I should just, I don't know. I had a weird mood today, man. I woke up in a weird mood, and so my train of thought, usually I'm in such like a bright and shiny, I thought I was in a really good mood when I got here. I guess some days you just need to deal with stuff, right? And so that's it. My apologies to anybody that sat through this going, what in the fuck is he on? It's like nothing. This is just the aftermath of being sick. This is just how my body and my mind works. Like I mentioned before, part of my problem is with mental health. And it's still a work in progress every day. There's some days are really, really good. Other days are really, really bad. And no matter what you think or you do, and you're like, okay, I got this covered. You can never have it all completely covered. You have to give yourself space and room to heal. Mental health is something that you need to work on. It's like any other disease, If you have high blood pressure, you got to maintain things, And we are okay with, taking time to heal when you're sick physically. But I don't know why society has such stigmas attached to your mental health, because without your mental health, you don't have your physical health. So, I don't know, we got things backwards sometimes. Well, at least back west. Here, they seem to focus more on, taking care of your body and your soul, and everything is combined. It's one thing Sao Paulo is very, good at. She's like, you know, telling me to do things. You know, when I got sick, it's like I just wanted to lay down and rest and relax. And she's like, you got to go do this, you got to go do that. You have to, you know, got to keep your body going. And I'm like, she's right. You know, these are things I need to do for myself. At this point, I'm just going to shut up and listen to so Paul. What she says is pretty much got to go. I'm in a different world. I'm in a different country over here, and they do things differently. And I really appreciate it, to be honest. I think it's really amazing over here. But anyway, I think I'm going to go and figure out what I'm going to do next. I think I might go home and just have breakfast and see what I can decide from there. I had ideas. I don't know if I'm going to keep those. All right. Thank you so much for putting up with me today. I'll see you guys at our next one. I got next live stream Saturday evening. If you're on in the U.S. and Canada, it'll be Sunday morning if you guys are over here. Decide on yeah. I'm trying to think what's the easiest way to say. I go live in the mornings here, so it'll be Sunday morning here. So figure out on your end what the timeline is. Like you go live anywhere between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. So, and that's back home would be between 9 and 11 p.m. Eastern. Anyway, I'll see you guys very soon. Thanks. See you. Bye.